Hello, and welcome to week 4 of CML's Statehouse Report. My name is Megan Dollar, and I'm the Legislative Advocacy Manager. Thanks so much for tuning in. We've got a lot to get to, so I'll go ahead and get us started for this week. The first bill I want to talk about is Senate Bill 2162, which has to do with jail depopulation management tools. This bill was brought by the ACLU, and as introduced, CML had a number of concerns in the bill, particularly its expansiveness. What the bill does and is aimed at is creating new arrest standards for lower level crimes, including municipal ordinance violations, misdemeanors, and some lower level felonies, as well as new requirements around monetary bond and bail. It allows an individual to fail to appear in court on those lower level crimes up to 3 times before they can actually be held on a monetary bond. Those are all things that CML had concerns with, specifically because there were no exemptions for if an individual is making intentional actions to obstruct the criminal justice system. The law enforcement community, including CML, many members of the law enforcement community, worked on amendments with the proponents in order to find some compromise on the legislation. That compromise was found, and those amendments, including exemptions on individuals that could be or that are intentionally obstructing the criminal justice system, were adopted in the Senate Judiciary Committee on March 4th, and thus CML removed its opposition. I do want to note that there are still members of the criminal justice community that remain opposed, notably the Colorado Association of Chiefs of Police. Let me go ahead and move over into the affordable housing space. I want to talk about 2 bills that will be heard in the House Transportation and Local Government Committee on Wednesday, March 10th. The first one is actually CML initiated legislation, which is HB 1117, I should say, which has to do with local governments being given the authority to promote affordable housing. The idea being that local governments can require affordable housing set-asides within new developments as long as they provide the developer options in order to comply. And according to the bill, then that will not be a violation of the rent control statute. We are looking very much to, CML is looking forward to testifying in support of our legislation, of course, as well as many of our supporters and, of course, several individual local government officials. Additionally, that day in committee, they will also be hearing House Bill 211028, which creates an annual report that the Division of Housing must provide in order to provide data on where and to whom their grants and loans line item goes to within the state and what types of projects they fund. The bill came from a discussion over whether or not owner-occupied affordable housing should be either prioritized or certainly included in those funding mechanisms. And so this is kind of the beginning to get an idea of where that funding is going to. Certainly that information would be very helpful for CML's purposes so we can get an idea of the affordable housing needs in the state. So with that, I'll kick it over to the next lobbyist.
Hi, everyone. This is Heather Stoffer. I'm going to talk today about 3 bills. So the first bill I want to talk about is House Bill 1025, Non-Substantive Emails and Open Meetings Law. This is CML-initiated legislation that clarifies provisions of the Open Meetings Law around elected officials' exchange of non-substantive emails. The bill passed the House on 3rd reading with a vote of 52-12 with 1 excused. It will now make its way over to the Senate, and we will be lobbying it as it moves through that process. The second bill I want to talk to you about is House Joint Resolution 1002, Water Project Eligibility Lists. This is the annual Water Project Eligibility List bill. The bill approves the list of drinking water and wastewater supply projects that receive funding from the state's drinking water revolving fund, Those are funds from the federal government that the state allocates each year. The bill doesn't usually have a lot of controversy, but it's incredibly important for municipalities to pay for upgrades to our water supply systems, which can be millions and millions of dollars. So CML testified in support of that bill in the Senate Ag Committee this past week, and we'll be supporting it as it makes its way onto the Senate floor. The last bill I'm going to talk about is House Bill 1051, Public Information Applicants for Public Employment. Currently, a local government is required to name 3 finalists as chief executive search in their chief executive search, and make their applications materials available for public inspection. This really has a chilling effect on the number of candidates and the types of candidates that apply, because not everyone wants the fact that they are applying for a job open to the public, especially if they don't get that job. So the bill limits the requirements to naming one candidate as a finalist, and exempts anyone who is not a finalist materials and applications under CORA laws. So we're supporting that bill, and we will be testifying in support in the House Business Affairs and Labor Committee on Thursday, March 11th. That's it for me this week. I hope you have a great week.
Hi, everyone. This is Bo Clean-Thomas, Legislative and Policy Advocate. And this week, I'll be providing updates on 3 bills related to beer and liquor. The first bill is Senate Bill 82, which expands the type of liquor licensees that can host festivals. I provided several updates on this bill. However, I wanted to let you all know that this bill was heard in the Senate Committee on Business, Labor, and Technology last Monday. And during the hearing, the committee unanimously approved an amendment that CML advocated for. This amendment adds language that gives municipalities the option to create a local festival permit. As drafted, there is little local control, and this amendment allows municipalities to regulate festivals as they see fit. And this bill will be heard in the Senate Finance Committee today, March 8th, to discuss the fiscal impact. CML is now neutral on this bill and will continue to monitor it throughout the process. The next bill I want to provide an update on is Senate Bill 86, which allows small fermented malt beverage retailers to utilize delivery services such as Grubhub and DoorDash. CML has been advocating for these delivery services to obtain a local alcohol-specific delivery permit before they can deliver these beverages. The sponsor has agreed to this language, and the bill will be scheduled to be heard in the Senate Business, Labor, and Technology Committee later this month. The last bill I want to update you all on is House Bill 1027, which continues alcohol beverage takeout and delivery. This bill was heard in the House Business Affairs and Labor Committee on Wednesday, and during this hearing, the bill is amended and a 5-year sunset was added. Additionally, another amendment was added that allows non-retail licensees like brewers and distillers a 6-month timeline to convert their license. If breweries and distilleries convert their license to a restaurant-type license, it would mean more local licensing. We will continue to monitor this bill. And that concludes my updates for this week. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me if you have any questions. Thank you.
Megan McKillop, Legislative and Policy Advocate with CML. I wanted to talk to you all about a few bills I'm covering right now. Firstly, last week CML testified in opposition to House Bill 21-1034, prohibition of local governments to restrict use of natural gas. This legislation would have invalidated any statute, rule, or local ordinance or resolution that would limit or prohibit the installation of natural gas or propane appliances and heating systems in new homes. The bill would have directly undermined home rule and local control, a longstanding and respected tradition in Colorado and one that is valued at CML. The bill was postponed indefinitely by the Energy and Environment Committee on Wednesday. Next, I want to move into this week. On Tuesday, March 9th, CML is testifying in support of Senate Bill 2184, Local Government Authority over Roughed-in Roads. The bill would allow local governments to prohibit the operation of motor vehicles on roads that have been prepared for making an official road, but have not been improved enough to qualify as an official road. This bill would provide local governments for further oversight over roadways and areas that look like open space, but really aren't. CML supports this bill as it increases local government authority, and we are excited to testify in support on Tuesday. The last thing I want to talk to you all about is House Bill 21-1162, Management of Plastic Products. This bill was introduced in the House last week and will be heard by the Energy and Environment Committee on Thursday, March 11th. The bill repeals the prohibition of local government's ability to manage or prohibit the use of plastic materials or products beginning July 1st, 2023. The bill also creates a bag fee on plastic bags and a fee on styrofoam products of 10 cents per bag or per styrofoam product to be paid by customers. 60% of that fee will go towards municipal governments, and 40% of that fee will stay with local restaurants to ensure that they can enforce that bag fee and styrofoam fee and create education surrounding the fee in their communities. CML is testifying in support of this bill on Thursday and emphasizing our support of the repeal of the preemption of local government's ability to manage plastic products. That's all I have for you. Please, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me.
That's it for our Statehouse report this week. Thank you so much for tuning in and for your viewership. As always, please reach out to any of the lobbyists with any questions or concerns, and we'll see you next week. Have a great day.